Hello everyone, my name is Evan Harrison and I'll be giving a brief overview of dependency injection. I will be briefly touching on the following topics. What is dependency injection? What are dependencies? What does the dependency injection pattern look like? And what are some of the pros and cons to using dependency injection? Dependency injection can be considered one of many different software design patterns. In software engineering, dependency injection is a technique whereby one object or static method supplies the dependencies of another object. Another way to put it is that it is the act of transferring the task of creating an object to something else and directly using the dependency. To better understand dependency injection, we need to understand what a dependency is. In broad terms, a dependency indicates relying on something else for support. An example of a dependency in programming would be if a class, class A, uses functionality from another class, class B. Then class A has a dependency of class B. A problem with using dependencies like so is illustrated in the following example. Say we have a class to represent a car object. This car class contains other objects related to cars, like wheels object, an engine object, etc. What happens if we want to change the type of wheels or engine used by our car class? We have to create a new car object with a new wheel or engine dependency. If we use dependency injection, rather than creating a new car class, the wheel or engine object can be determined and changed at runtime instead. This is because dependency injection in our example makes the car class independent of the wheels or engine objects. In other words, it serves as a type of middleman by creating and supplying all necessary objects to the car class. Dependency injection is based on the concept of inversion of control, which essentially dictates that a class should not configure its dependents statically, rather they should be configured by some outside class. The dependency injection pattern involves three different classes. First is the client class, which depends on a service class for some functionality. Second is the service class, which provides a service to the client class. Third is the injector class. The injector class injects the service class into the client class. From the illustration, we see that the injector class creates an instance of the service class, then injects that object into the client object. There are three main types of dependency injection. The first type is constructor injection. With constructor injection, an injector supplies the service or dependency through the client constructor. Second is property injection. In property injection, the injector supplies the dependency through a public property of the client class. Property injection is also known as setter injection. Third, with method injection, the client class implements an interface which declares the methods to supply the dependency. The injector then uses this interface to supply the dependency to the client class. Some of the pros of dependency injection include it makes unit testing easier, it can reduce boilerplate code, it makes it easier to extend the application in the future, and it helps enable loose coupling. Some of the cons include it can be complex to learn, overuse can lead to management issues, and some compile time errors can be pushed to runtime. In conclusion, we have learned about dependency injection. We have learned about what dependency injection is, what dependencies in programming are, what the dependency injection pattern looks like, what types of dependency injection exist, and what some of the pros and cons to dependency injection are. I really hope you have enjoyed this presentation of dependency injection.